the country. Only in the United States is there a different standard, and it's because the left sees the new standard as a way to obtain power and hold it forever. Cathy Areu is founding publisher of Catalina magazine, and unlike many on the left, very honest about what she thinks, and we're grateful for that. She joins us tonight. So, Cathy, you think that people who are not citizens of the United States ought to be allowed to vote in federal elections, correct?
I feel that people who are contributing and are humans and are in our society and contributing to our society should have a say, yes, in what happens in our democracy. Yes.
How would we measure that? So would we say that everyone who's making a net contribution, paying more in taxes than they're getting in services, for example, those people can vote? Or people who own property?
At the moment, I mean, we have so many people that are living in this country. We have about 11, 12 million people that are living in this country, contributing to our society, paying their taxes, as that previous guest had said, taxation without representation. So there are so many people who are living here but don't have a voice. So it's been shown that when they do have a voice, they do feel more empowered and they are part of our society. So people,
well, they definitely would feel more empowered by voting. There's no doubt. I mean, you're absolutely right on that. They would definitely be empowered.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering what the standard is. So could I be on vacation here from another country and, you know, stay for a while, contribute greatly? How long would I have to stay in order to be able to vote?
Well, I mean, I think it goes state by state. And I think Maryland right now has a few cities that allows undocumented people to vote. So I would wonder how Maryland's doing it. And that's not California, that's Maryland. So I would say maybe we adopt what Maryland's doing in other states.
So if foreigners should be allowed to vote in our elections, why shouldn't residents of Mississippi be allowed to vote in California elections?
Exactly, we should. I mean, the United States is the United States. So yeah, if I'm a Floridian and I'm visiting New York, so why can't I vote in New York? Absolutely, I think we should be able to vote wherever we happen to be. Yeah.
Should we be able to vote in Mexico?
Well, if we're contributing to their society and living there for years, and perhaps if there's a law that allows us to, absolutely. But the American way was established with people voting in the 1700s that were undocumented. So we actually were created as a nation of people that were undocumented and voting. So it is the American way.
It was, a nation of illegals for sure. But let's just get back to Mexico. So their constitution says, illegal, undocumented. That's kind of a hybrid of the two. But their constitution says that foreigners are not allowed to participate in any way in their politics. Isn't that racist?
Well, I mean, but America is not racist. That's what makes America so beautiful. America is a melting pot. So that would only make sense that we would allow people who are contributing to our society to vote. So that would make sense.
Okay, but then why are we upset about Russian influence in our elections then? Isn't that kind of what we want? I mean, there are a lot of Russians living here, Russian diplomats living here, long-term living here. Kislyak, the longtime ambassador here.
I don't think the Russian collusion was people contributing and then going to the polls and caring about their school systems.
Hold on. Why should we? I'm confused. Why should we be worried about foreigners influencing our election on the one hand if you're calling for foreigners to influence our election on the other?
Well, these aren't foreigners. These are people who are living here, working here. Their children are in our schools. They're going to our hospitals. I mean, places where now Trump has ICE visiting to pick up people who are undocumented.
Wait a second. I'm trying to track this because I want to take it seriously, and I do think this is the next frontier in liberalism. I think the Democratic platform will reflect what you're saying probably very soon.
The next frontier in America. You mean the future?
Oh, there's no doubt. Yes. Yeah, that's absolutely the future. But so Ambassador Kislyak, the Russian ambassador, spent I think like 20 years here. I think his kids grew up here. Certainly a big contributor economically to the city of Washington. Why should I be upset when he votes or influences our politics?
Well,
by this standard.
There's so many people that we are sad that vote, right? But I mean, unfortunately, we don't have people voting that should be voting. We only have, I think, 59% turnout voting right now. So people who do contribute and are great people and contributing should be allowed to vote. So maybe if we get
so
more
that would include
voting,
good. Well, I'm glad we can give up on the Russian collusion narrative. It was dumb from the beginning, and now I feel good about it because you know what? They're just transitory Americans, undocumented Americans, which I love.
No,
Cathy, yeah.
No,
Great to see you, Cathy. Thank you.
Good to see you, yep.
The left says it wants a national conversation on guns, which is, of course, a lie. That's the last thing they want. They want you to be quiet so they can impose their will on you. But let's say they did want an honest conversation.